Commodity TV live from the Mines and Money London 2022. And we have now here a special guest out of the lithium space, I would call it, Christopher Brown from HeliosX Lithium and Technology. How are you?
I'm doing well, Tim. Thank you for having me.
How's the conference so far?
It's been an exciting conference, lots of variety of people, lots of investment ideas. We're looking forward to continuing the conference for the next couple of days.
That sounds great to me. Okay, so Christopher, you are active in the lithium space and therefore not in one, but in 3 lithium hotspots, I would call it, in Nevada, Argentina and Alberta. So could you give us an insight in the projects and in your company, please?
Sure. In Argentina, we have a relatively large land holding, 230,000 acres of lithium prospectivity that we've identified definitively a lithium resource. Now, going forward, we want to continue the delineation process to bring that to commercialization. In Nevada, we hold just over 14,000 acres in prospective area, close to Silver Peak, in fact. So we've learned a lot from what Albemarle's been doing for Silver Peak development, and we want to mimic that type of success in our Nevada basin. And in Alberta is a very unique situation. We have large reef complexes of lithium brine resources associated with the oil and gas industry. So we're hoping to utilize our oil and gas expertise to unlock that opportunity and potential in Canada.
So what is the current status of the flagship project? So in case of drilling and what have you a resource base, or can you just elaborate a little bit on this?
Sure. So before we even entered Argentina, we did a statistical distribution of all the resources identified to date. And so even before we entered the country, we're looking for something in materiality. And what the indications are is that you should have upwards of a million tons of lithium prospectivity on a new prospect. So that was our initial interest in Argentina. So now our goal is to start drilling our asset to better delineate the prospectivity. So we have a wide range of potential outcomes of resources. We just need to start the drilling activity, which we plan to do in 2023 with our partner Plus Patrol.
Okay.
And that's pretty much our flagship asset.
How much drilling?
Just 2 wells to start the delineation process. We still need to get some environmental permits from the government. So for now, we're restricted for the amount of drilling we can do.
Do you want to focus on one project or develop all 3 together?
I'd love to push forward all 3. It's all based on capital allocation. And so with the Nevada asset, we built 2 drilling pads. We'd love to drill 2 to 4 locations in Nevada, but it's going to be an issue of both the amount of capital required as well as accessing good rigs. People underappreciate that the oil and gas sectors siphoned all the best rigs. And so we want to make sure if we're going to drill, we want to drill it right in Nevada. And it's very important to just have a good crew on site that can drill those wells properly. And in Canada, we hope to drill maybe 1 to 2 locations to help with the delineation work there. But we're still in a resource quantification stage in Canada. We're looking for specific reef type complexes, but working with local oil and gas operators to partner to more effectively extract the resource.
So you mentioned that you're relatively close to Silver Peak, but your project is not in the Clayton Valley. It's
just over the mountain, so to speak.
Ah, okay.
So 10 clicks to the east, and that's our prospect on a salar that's visually evident on the surface. Yeah. So we do plan to see how we can most effectively do a program there to delineate the resource potential.
Okay. So water is always an issue in Nevada. How about that?
It's always a loaded question.
Did you already negotiate permitting or something like that?
On one of the assets we do. So we have 3 years. It's a renewable permit. So we have freshwater access to one of our assets for a 3-year term. And then the other asset we haven't actually put in the permit yet. We've just finished posting some acreage, and now we'll go through the permitting process. But because we were successful with acquiring our first freshwater permit, we don't really see the same hurdle that those that are next to Albemarle or Silver Peak do. Because the issue that you deal with access to fresh water near Silver Peak is that the concern of the operator is that you're going to draw their freshwater resource. So because our aquifers will not be even remotely close, we have a high degree of confidence that we'd be approved for freshwater permits.
Okay. So full speed drilling in 2023 needs a lot of money. What's cash in the bank?
Well, right now we have $1 million. We just were listed in January 2022. So we're just coming out of the gate. But we're always actively looking for institutional and retail investors to join. But we need to get the messaging out there. We need to better define the resource potential people would invest in. And so we are looking to raise anywhere from $5 to $15 million in the coming year to do and execute the program I mentioned.
So brand new company. Have any institutional investors?
Not yet. The company we had taken over wasn't qualified for institutional investment. And I come from a strong banking background, and I know the qualifications for transparency and governance that need to be in place. So we've actually been spending the last 6 months cleaning up the company for full transparency and governance purposes. So as of today, we are now institutional eligible for investment.
Oh, okay. What is management holding?
We hold about 13% of the stock.
Very good. Sounds good. So to summarize everything, what are the catalysts for the next 12 to 15 months?
Well, hoping, knock on wood, with a finance raise in the next 3 to 6 months, we should be able to start drilling relatively quickly after that. The Nevada Basin, I've been actively searching for rigs and crews to execute that program, because we need to plan for that at least 6 months in advance to be effectively execute in a timely manner. So even if we don't have the financing today, I'm anticipating lining the financing closing with successfully securing a rig for Nevada. In Argentina, that program is going to go forward. We have enough funds to drill the first 2 wells, so we will definitively drill those next year in Argentina. And then in Canada, we're still, like I said, working on the resource distribution work on that. Like I said, you have a big prize there. It's a lower concentration, but you have a much friendlier regime to develop facilities, because it's just a much friendlier area that understands oil and gas, and the lithium is very comparable to oil and gas investing. So we're really optimistic that we can move forward with Canada as well with the new drill program.
Okay, so lithium is called a critical metal in the European Union and also in North America, United States, Canada. So what could this mean for the development of your projects? And could you just comment on that?
Sure, just a general comment on the critical minerals. I appreciate that US and Canada and the European Union has now defined lithium as a critical mineral. The downside of that has been the removal of Chinese investment allowable in Canadian asset bases, and we see our government move and ordered companies to remove Chinese shareholders. There's a pro and con with that. All exploration plays can use foreign investment is the con. So we've lost the Chinese backer for a lot of our exploration. The pro is, I understand the need for the country to secure assets for the future. Now, the issue with Biden and the work that the US has done and Canada has done for the definition of critical minerals today is that we're already 15 years behind the Chinese. So, as an example, as part of the lithium's application in batteries, we also need cobalt, for example. And a good example is that Chinese invested in the Congo in 1999. They were exporting about $1.9 million worth of materials from Congo. Today, they're exporting $9 billion.
Yeah.
They have secured all necessary critical elements so that their battery industry and EV industry will be successful into 2030. US, Canada, UK are so far behind that we are not likely going to meet our EV expectations simply because we didn't have the foresight to plan generational or decades in advance, unlike the Chinese, who have secured it and will likely be the largest EV country in the world in the next 5 years.
Okay. So, Christopher, thank you very much for this insight in your company and the lithium sector.
Well, thank you very much, Tim, for having me.
Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you.
So that was Commodity TV with Christopher Brown from HeliosX Lithium and Technology. Yeah, I would say check out the company, do your own research, and bye-bye from London.
Thanks.